I still remember the day she left like it was yesterday. Her words so cold, so final, echoing in my mind even now. You're just not enough for me anymore, James. I need someone who can offer me more. He can give me what you can't. I remember, standing there heartbroken, speechless as she walked out the door, her heels clicking against the floor, a sound I'd once found comforting, now haunting. In the blink of an eye, she was gone, taking with her not just her clothes, but my heart, my future, my everything. For months I didn't know what to do. It wasn't just that she left me, it was why. A wealthy businessman, someone who could give her everything I couldn't, was the reason. He was older, more established, with a vast fortune, a luxury car, and a penthouse apartment that she couldn't resist. In her eyes, I was just a regular guy, an average Joe working his 9-to-5 job. I loved her with everything I had, but my love wasn't enough. I tried to move on. I kept my head down at work, kept going to the gym, hanging out with my friends, but the emptiness in my chest didn't go away. I thought I'd never feel whole again. But then, one fateful evening, everything changed. I was at a bar, drowning my sorrows in a glass of whiskey. The place was dimly lit, quiet, and the sound of clinking glasses was the only noise in the room. I wasn't really paying attention to anyone around me, just trying to escape my thoughts. Then I felt it, a tap on my shoulder. I turned and there she was, James. Her voice was soft, hesitant. "Can we talk?" For a moment I just stared at her. It was her, the woman who had once been my everything. She stood there, looking almost the same as when I had last seen her. Her blonde hair flowed like a waterfall. Her eyes still had that twinkle that had once made me fall for her. But something was different. She wasn't the confident woman who had left me so easily. There was a vulnerability in her eyes now, a weariness that hadn't been there before. "What do you want, Emma?" I asked, my voice barely a whisper. She winced at the sound of my voice. "I know you must hate me, but please, just hear me out." I took a deep breath, trying to remain calm. Part of me was angry, furious even. The other part of me, well, the other part still wanted to believe that maybe, just maybe, she had come back because she realized her mistake. "I don't hate you," I said, my voice steady, though my heart was beating faster with every passing second. "I just don't understand why you left me. After everything we had, everything we built together, you walked away for him. For his money, for his lifestyle." She looked down at her feet, her shoulders slumped, as though she had been carrying the weight of guilt for so long that it was finally breaking her. "I was wrong," she said, her voice shaking. "I thought I wanted the luxury, the life that came with him. I thought it would make me happy. But I was wrong, James. So wrong. He wasn't what I thought he was. And I lost myself in it. I thought I was making the right choice, but I wasn't." I could see the tears welling up in her eyes. My heart wavered, but I quickly shook my head. "So what? You come crawling back to me now after everything? After what you did? You really think I'm just going to take you back?" Her face turned pale, and I could see the shame in her eyes. "I don't expect you to just forgive me, James. I know I hurt you, and I'm sorry, but he wasn't the man I thought he was. He was controlling, manipulative. He made me feel like I was just another trophy for his collection. The more I was with him, the more I realized how empty my life had become." I leaned back in my chair, studying her face. She looked different now, broken, fragile. She wasn't the confident, entitled woman I once knew. It was like the money, the luxury, the life she thought she wanted had consumed her and spat her out. "And now what?" I asked, crossing my arms. "You think you can just come back and pick up where we left off? You think I'm still that guy who'll be waiting around for you to make up your mind?" She shook her head quickly, tears streaming down her face. "No, I don't expect that. I don't want to erase what we had, but I want to try again. I've learned so much about myself, James. I was blind before, but I see now. I see how much I took you for granted. And I've realized something. Money, status, none of that matters. I want you. I want the man I left behind. Not him. Not the money." I stayed silent for a long time, weighing her words. Part of me wanted, to scream at her, to remind her of how much pain she had caused me. But another part of me, the part that still loved her despite everything, wanted to believe her. "Do you really mean it?" I asked softly. "Or is this just because you've realized you're not getting everything you wanted?" She nodded vigorously, her face pleading. "I mean it, James. I've never meant anything more in my life. I was so foolish before. Please, let me prove to you that I've changed." For a moment I thought about all the things we shared, all the good times, the plans we made, the future we dreamed of. I thought about how empty my life had been without her, how much I still missed her smile, her laugh. But I also remembered the heartbreak, the betrayal, the way she walked away without a second glance. I sighed, staring at the woman before me. "I don't know, Emma. I don't know if I can just forget everything." She reached across the table, gently taking my hand in hers. "I'm not asking you to forget, I'm just asking for a chance to show you that I'm not the person I was before, that I've learned, and that I'm willing to fight for us." The room felt quiet, almost surreal. The tension hung between us, thick and undeniable. My heart still ached from everything. That had happened, but there was something in her eyes, a glimmer of hope, maybe even desperation, that told me she was being sincere. "I don't know what the future holds," I said, my voice barely a whisper. "But I'm willing to give you one chance. One, that's all." Her face lit up with relief, tears of gratitude streaming down her cheeks. Thank you so much." I nodded, not sure what this new chapter would bring. But for the first time in a long time, I felt a glimmer of hope that maybe, just maybe, our story wasn't over. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to subscribe to my channel for more content like this. I'd love to hear your thoughts and feedback in the comments. Feel free to share your own experiences or reflections.